Okay, welcome. Now, I'm just going to run through a couple of things I want to speak about today. I hope the wind don't interfere with my voice. I hope I don't speak too loud. I hope it doesn't rain. And I just have to shut this down a moment while I sort things out. I'll turn the camera off. You'll be able to hear me. I just want to... First things first, a couple of shout outs of sorts. Martin Leaker led me to a channel, Dog Boy Malone. I really enjoyed him. I thought it was a very, very interesting chap. I do enjoy his videos very much. Also, Eon mentioned a little while ago, Wise Up. This guy's got some controversial ideas, but I do enjoy his channel a lot. I've been there quite a lot this weekend. There's another chap, Charles Cos. He's doing the same thing, a similar thing. And please check out Dustin Gollyhon's A Mutual Enemy documentary. I really enjoyed that. Very much so. Also, Matty Earth, the Stolen Earth Rockstar, Flat Earth, some speculation about ocean tides, air currents, ice walls. I really enjoyed that one as well. Okay, and then the last channel I want to mention is HighImpactFlix, and that's where I'm going to come back on screen now and try and screen share. 2 viewers. I'll send you the link, Rory. Give me one moment. Let me just make sure this is muted. I've got headphones in it. I've got 2 laptops going, so I can read my chat and I'll go through some of these things. I'll close this down. Well, I better send that link first, didn't I? That'll help. Which is it? This one. So stop screen sharing it. Do that way. Why doesn't it come up as a suggestion? I don't go to any other sort of Rories. Right. Invite sent. Let's try that again. Close that one down. Okay, now I'm assuming there's a bit of a delay on the other screen, so I can't see what's coming up. Nothing. Is that you, Rory?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Very well, thank you. You?
I'm not too bad. There you are.
How's Owen?
He's much better. Do you know, I thought I had the day to myself, but he's got an inset day, so he's in there. Otherwise, I'd have been on ages ago, but yeah, I'm here now. Let me see. So I'll close that one. Now, I can't see Rory, but I should be able to see this one. Do you know about this channel, Rory? Have you heard of him?
Yes, yes, I have. I am sub to it.
Did you watch this one? The Truth actually aired in 1981.
No, I was going to, because this thing is, Richard, I've had so many videos come up, and it takes forever to get out the junk and not interested. Oh yeah, that one. So it's always a catch up, isn't it? Always.
Oh, definitely. Do you know, there are so many people's videos I've just missed in the feed. Do you know what I mean? I've said it before. I'm gonna have to go back to the way I used to do it and go to people's channels individually rather than waiting for it to come up through my feed, because I've definitely missed a few videos of people. But yeah,
it makes sense.
I left a comment. Can you see me? He broke a globe.
He broke a globe. The Flat Earth people. My eyes ain't what they used to be.
Look, the black people.
I've only got a little screen.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I'll come up to it properly. But I was watching this, and I wonder. We'll just listen for a second if I'm in the right place. I'll skip back in 1 second. We'll have a look.
UNICEF artwork. Well, there. Yeah, well. They're pressing charges. Yeah, well, you broke a globe and UNICEF artwork. Well, they're in on it too.
So I don't know if the wind cut out. Did you hear that little bit?
Something about he broke the globe.
Yeah, so I'll go back a bit further, just a little bit. Now, this was a program back in the 80s, and the chap in the centre there has been arrested for protesting about and he's talking about the Trilateral Commission.
Oh, okay.
And if you listen, the only thing that he did wrong was he broke a globe. And I made a comment about it, and it was just a fun comment, but I got 90 responses from it.
Oh, really?
It was
wow.
really bizarre, yeah. Just loads of people making like little comments of their own from my one comment. I just thought it was really bizarre. I just had to share it with people. But yeah, just listen for a second, because I think everyone's seen it before.
Political cooperation between their nations. And that's what they'd like us to believe. But you see, what they're really up to is a scheme to plant their own loyal members in positions of power in this country, to work to erase national boundaries, create an international community, and in time bring about a one world government with David Rockefeller calling the shots. I take it they're pressing charges? Yeah, well, he broke a globe and some UNICEF artwork. Well, they're in on it too.
So yeah, and that's what I say. He's talking about the Trilateral Commission there, but I mean, of the groups that people think are running it all at the minute, you know. And I just think it's weird that this has popped up now, you know, with everything that's going on with all the politics being corrupt. The one thing that is mentioned there is the flat Earth and breaking a globe, when we're all talking about it now. And like I said, look, this guy's got 25 replies. I got 92. I was like, yes. I thought for a minute he was responding to me hangout, and then it was this. Went on for ages, and it's very split. There's people on both sides, you know. The very first one, Cassandra Complex, beginning with a CC. You know, I wish you Obama shields would piss off with your bullshit. And then you've got C. Cornelius. If the Earth is flat, why does one see a different set of stars from the northern and southern hemispheres? And it was all just weird, right? And then this is what I actually wanted to talk about today, because this message from Cassandra Complex sent me a link to this. Now, I haven't looked through it too much just yet, but I wanted to just share it with people, because it's not something I don't think I've heard anyone else mention just yet.
No, I've not seen this.
And I found this other one myself. My other laptop's not working very well, so I had to switch them over. And I had all this set up, and then I had to set it all up again. While I was looking for this, I came across this one as well. And again, it's something that not many people are talking about. And as I say, I only found it yesterday, and I want to go through it at some point. But if someone else wants to get there first, then go for it. But that's why I wanted to just put this out there. And I want to know what it's all about. There's very little on this page. Each page is only just a synopsis about each part. And it's got the route and things like that, where they landed. Nice little map. And a gallery with some pictures. I haven't actually been through any of these yet. Like I said, I'd like to spend more time with it, but you know what things are like.
Yeah,
and
looks very interesting though, Richard. That looks.
Someone else could get here first. Then all the good, because I'd like to hear other people's opinions on it, of course.
Yeah, because everyone says, oh, there's never been a flight around the poles, like from south to north. It's always east to west, circumnavigation and all of that. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at this.
And that's not, oh, excuse me. There's a lot of everyone's going to hang out today. Did you notice?
Oh, mate, it's crazy. I got invited to Hillbillies just before this one.
He's on right now. Yeah, he's talking about the orbs and things.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stick around as long as I was going to, because everyone's having one. But I just wanted to get this bit out here because I just thought it was very bizarre.
He got sniped by Lord Stephen Christ, and I think it's is it Gem Panda possibly? They've taken over his live hangout.
Who? What? Hillbillies?
Yeah. So I think he's trying to shut it all down.
Touch wood, I haven't had anything like that at all at the moment. At all. I'm glad for that.
Yeah, it just winds you up because you've got no power in to stop it. You know, because I have no idea with technical stuff with computers. I don't know if there's programs you can have to stop that sort of thing, or they've got hacking programs. I don't know. I really don't understand it.
No, I don't get any of it. Hello, Wurzel Gummidge. Nice to meet you, fella. Thanks for stopping by. Beautiful day. That's why I've got my glasses on, but then the last 20 minutes, half hour, all the clouds have come over. I hope they don't stay like that.
Do you know what, Richard? The fog has cleared about 20 minutes ago. It's been so foggy here all day. Horrible.
Oh, really? It was absolutely beautiful here earlier. I was baking. I couldn't believe how warm it was sitting there in the sun.
Stop it. I'm jealous.
Half hour. I've got all the, I don't know if it will see, but there's crocuses down my garden just popping up.
Yeah.
Those spots?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to keep talking to show them up, don't I? Here. When my garden comes up, it's beautiful out here. The old lady that lived here, she must have at one time kept it absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I had my rose bush was still producing roses in January, but we had that real cold spell and it just killed all my buds off.
Oh yeah, last year we had some nice roses over here. It was a little wild patch, but my lady cut it all down. I've said to her she's got to let it grow again and leave it as another wild patch again, but we'll see how it goes. We was going to plant vegetables and stuff, but we just never got around to it in the end. We've got a whole bunch of seeds and things like that, but by the time we'd taken up all the old weeds, I think the old lady that was here, she can't have touched it for 15 years or something, so it was really overgrown and stuff. And so we spent some time in here, and hopefully this year we'll do some stuff. And I just
because you've got quite a long garden, haven't you?
Yeah, that's what I said. Compared to my old house, it was a 15-foot square yard.
Oh wow!
And moving here, it's so cool. It's amazing, you know. Do you remember last year we had the big trampoline out here? Well,
yes.
that just about took up the whole of the old garden. You know what I mean? There was a walkway to the back pathway, and that was it. That was our garden.
I'd like to see that video with you on the trampoline.
You'll get another one for this sub. I don't do it often. Fallen Angel, hello. You said I just showed the link. So what does that mean? Someone jump in if they want to. Do either of you want to jump in or quite happily just listening? I'm going to talk about a couple of things in a minute. I know there's a slight delay. I have to get used to all this stuff. And as I said, do you remember the other day, Rory? I was using that other laptop. It's so slow, and yet it's a newer laptop. I don't know what's going on with it.
Strange.
I've got Windows open. I can see and listen to you. I can see my chat probably on the same laptop if I want to. Just find it all bizarre.
I really need to eventually get a computer, because doing everything on my iPad, it's a real pain in the arse. It's limited with memory and all of that, and
it's handy when you can take it out and stuff. Yeah, I like that. But being able to sit at home, just do this. As long as I've got the power plugged in, I can sit here and chat all night, which is cool. I do like that. Don't do it enough. You know what I mean? I miss talking.
Hello, Fallen Angel and Wurzel.
Yeah, all truth is shown on TV, and most don't see it. You know, I've noticed that since long before the flat Earth thing. But I just don't know how to point it out to people. Do you know what I mean? When it was the same thing when I used to point out to people UFOs, they don't want to know. They don't want to listen.
The thing is, Richard, people don't want to step outside of that comfort zone, because it means they've got to re-evaluate their their place in society and what society, or the reality of the society that they are in. And once you start thinking outside the box, as we all know, it sort of just brings the house down on it all.
Do you know, I had so much to say, and as soon as I put the camera on, I forget. But you remind me of it there. Oh, Rory, I've lost your noise. Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah. I'm not breathing heavy. I've tried to move my mic underneath, so it's not coming out of my nostrils.
It was only for a little while. It must have been like where you were sitting or something. Just the angle or something. Because that's what I said. You was here all day the other day, and we had nothing. Again, what's going on here? But yeah, I was saying, I had loads to say and I've forgotten. And yet you've just reminded me of one of them, which was kind of talking about what Dell's doing, and me not doing it in the same way, right? And I think it's for that reason, right? If anyone tried to stop me in the high street for any reason, I'd probably just ignore them and keep walking, right? The last time I stopped for anyone, I hate to say it, it was because she was pretty, right? And it turned out she just wanted to know about how much gas and electric would cost me. And I was like, oh, God, I'm caught now. Trust me to get caught. I should have just done what I always did and kept walking.
Teach you.
But yeah. So for the Dell thing, you know, I can't do it yet. There's, like I say, there's not enough people. But as much as people don't like the Romans, I like the idea of a public forum. I'd like to stand in the park and talk to people in the crowd. You understand, right? You don't have to pay anything for that. I don't have to hire a hall or anything like that. And the Priory's got a lovely little area where they do hold little concert events. It's the little stones and steps, and you're just raised up above everyone. I'd like to do something like that, but I don't know if there's anyone even around my area that would be even willing to come. Just do 2 or 3 of us. You know, I ain't gonna shout. To get people to come looking rather than going up to them, and because I don't like surveyors and I don't like the guys in the street. You know, do you like being with Virgin or do you like being with Sky? Bugger off, mate. I don't care if it's cheap, but if I want to find it, and for me, that's again, like that's what I say. That's not how I do it, but that's just me. And at some point,
there is like Speaker's Corner, isn't there, up in London?
There's a few of them. I know Hastings quite well, and I know there's a very popular one just around there near the giant chessboard. And
oh, is there? I didn't know that.
Yeah, if I went down there as much when we used to go down there as kids every weekend, because we had family down there. Sometimes it was quite funny walking past that little area, and people would be just standing around talking and discussing things. And as a sort of 7 to 12-year-old, people shouting, not shouting but speaking loudly, was really funny. And I wish, you know, I'd listened more to some of what they said. You know, and I know it still happens now, but it's Hastings and I'm in Orpington. You know, I'd really like to get something like that started in Orpington or even Bromley. I'm not sure if even Bromley does anything like that. I know there's places that could be used for it. There's a beautiful park up Bromley where, like, I imagine the acoustics for any sort of concert or speaking event would be amazing. But again, I think it's one of those things they don't want us doing. You know, someone doesn't want us talking.
No, and you've got to have. Oh, got a bit of feedback there. The not tenacity, but you've got to have the courage, I suppose, to believe in yourself enough with the information you've got to put it in a way that it's not going to scare. Am I still on? I've lost you. I lost you for a minute. All right, cool. Yeah. From anyone doing it, you've obviously got to be that type of person that can just stand there and talk about it. I wouldn't have a problem. I think I'm pretty good when it comes to things like that. But I agree with approaching people is off-putting, because we spoke about this the last time we was on. And don't get me wrong, what Dell's doing, you know, he's trying to get it out there and he's trying to make people see. But I agree with you. If people approach me when I'm walking down a high street, I'm like, get out. Yeah, exactly. Right around. I'm not interested. Thank you very much. So how do you deal with us type of people, I suppose? What would be the acceptable way for someone to bring a message to me without me reacting like that. That's a hard one, actually. That's
See, for myself, in some ways, I think that this YouTube is a way to do that. You know, it doesn't involve going out and being nervous in the park. You can sit in the front room and be quite comfortable and do it.
And it also gives people a freedom of choice. If they want to listen, they can. If they don't, then they don't.
They can jog on and stuff.
Mm.
I lost my bloody thought then.
Yeah, so I'll just briefly say about last night on Hillbillies Hangout that I did a live orb watch, basically. So I set my phone up with the light and all the lights off behind me, and they came and they was on there. So that was really cool. I was like, oh, look, there's one just come behind you.
I did see, is that the short one with the music?
Oh, no, that was an actual video that I did. What I actually, like I'm doing now, I set my phone up. They put me as presenting.
Oh, got you.
So I had the light shining at me, basically, and the orbs you could see passing and doing whatever they were doing behind me. And yeah, it was a good experiment, actually.
That's probably amazing. And more people going to try it. I keep meaning to do it, but I always forget.
Well, this is the good thing, Richard. People are saying, well, you know, I can do this. I can have a go. And that's it. Everyone can try it, because people are saying, oh, it's you, you're special. I say, no, it's nothing to do with that. They're everywhere. I'm pretty sure everyone's got them around them, but it's only when you focus on them, I think, gives them maybe they pick up on that energy that you're thinking or focusing on them, and they come. Because when I've called them, they've come. So, you know, they're there.
And have you had many negative naysayers telling you not to do it and stuff?
No, there was one person on the show last night that actually asked Hillbilly to get me to bang a pillow to show dust. Well, that's all fine. You know, I put the pillow there and I banged it.
Some of your little orbs, they change. I've seen them. They change direction. Like, dust don't do that. And some of the speed that they come this way, dust don't do that. You know,
and they flicker in and out. They actually, it's like they got a cloaking device. They appear, disappear, appear, disappear. Again, dust doesn't do that, because dust is always in the light that's coming from my phone. So it can't sort of just disappear and reappear. It's always there. But the ones that I've got appear, disappear, appear, disappear. So, and the movement, like you say, Richard, I had one come down my face and then went back up. It's just so many I've caught. And then my hood, you know, when it moved my hood up like this, my cord got pulled twice. And I wasn't even trying to capture that. I was just trying a different angle, because that's what I've been doing, putting the camera all over the place, just seeing which is the best way to catch them. And all I was doing, I was just sitting absolutely still like that. And then it went shoomp, shoomp. And it took me a couple of watches before I actually spotted it, because I was looking for the orbs. And then, and then a little shadow. And I thought, what the hell's that? And then I played it back. All the hairs stood up at the back of my neck. I thought, bloody hell, it's actually playing with me, you know. So that was unexpected. But it shows that they can be physical, I guess. But it's all about experimenting. And
are you pretty certain they've always been here? It's just we've only just now begun to notice these things? Do you reckon it's part of the opening of the mind, being able to accept it again?
I think so, Richard. I think that's part of it. I think once you open up to it's like everything you yourself know. Once you see something, you spot a red car, there's loads of red cars, or like the yellow car thing. You see a yellow, all of a sudden you start seeing loads of yellow cars. So it might be a bit of that. But I'm trying to get them to sort of come and sit on my hand, or just sort of play around me. But in time, maybe they just want to get to know me a bit better. I don't know, Richard.
It is. There was something in the Hillbilly's title just now, and in the way you put orbs made me think of the World War II fighters and things like that.
We was talking about the Foo Fighters,
and I wonder, like, you know, if they're quite close through that glass in the cockpit, they might look bigger than people reported them. Does that make sense? And when I see that, my mind was just like boom, 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 all sorts of different ideas about the connections between these orbs and things that people see. You know, someone else, Las Valdez, is that his name? I think he's a reasonably small channel. I think he's a Mexican or something like that, possibly Portuguese or something. And then he put up, have you ever seen a spirit or a ghost or something? That was amazing, that one. I don't know what he called there.
I can't
You know?
remember. No, I don't think I do. Just a quick one here. Dell's just been on. All we were saying, Dell, is some people can do that, approach people.
Oh, it's not about eye contact, Dale. It's about, because the sun was out early, I just ain't taking them off, that's all. I've lost Rory.
No. Am I still there?
Yeah, I can hear that.
I totally think what Dell is doing, and we both said it on the other talk, we think what Dell's doing is brilliant, but we're saying that sometimes, obviously, for a lot of people, they don't like being approached. But I understand what you've just said, and yeah, that's the right way to do it. If they give you eye contact and they're happy to talk, then brilliant. So I wasn't
again, in some ways, for me, it's almost like having your own individual YouTube channel. We should be allowed to do it all our own ways, and we should be able to, you know, say when we don't agree with the way other people are doing it, because this is what's been stopped. We was all just trying to be led down one path. It could only be one way, even though you supposedly got the two choices of left and right, and it's a false paradigm. There are many options and many ways of doing all these things and talking to people, and that's all it is. It's not that I don't like what you're doing. I do, but it's not how I would do it.
Yeah, I think he's got balls really to go out and talk. But with Dell, he's so good and firm in, like I say, keeping it to repeatable, observable stuff. You can't talk about let me get this, I want to say this correctly.
Stuff you can't test.
yeah
I know what you mean. Of course I know.
And he's well versed.
At the same time, for myself, that's the part of why I'm here. You understand? In many ways, I'm not here to measure the earth or find the boundaries, but just to talk about why it's all been done the way it's been done. And if that's not the correct answer, then what is? You understand? And I'd like to know whether we can actually. You understand? I do want to know these things. But there's so much more to it for me than just that. And I hope Dell don't take it the wrong way, but in his doggedness of staying the course, I really hope he gets somewhere. You know, I'm just here for the discussion. You understand?
No, I think what Dell's done, he's given everybody almost like a formula. Don't get tripped up. Stick to what we can observe. That way, you won't get tripped up. You can't get pulled in to a discussion, well, not discussion, an argument, because you can't argue what is true. And you know, I've learned so much from what Dell's put out there, and he knows I was a bit dubious about the platform, but I've totally accept what he's done has been really positive, and for me, that's what it's all about. He's proved it himself. He's doing great stuff, and the response he's had is amazing.
I remember what I was going to say earlier now, all tied in with all this. A few years ago, my sister was waiting for Fairfield Halls, and she went to Edinburgh for the festival. And I went up there to visit her, and I'd love to do what they do. I'd stand in the street, and I'd talk to people, whoever come along and talk, because that's the place for it. Do you understand? But I ain't got the balls to do what Dell's done and go and stand outside Altonton College and talk to people.
I've just had a thought as we was talking, Richard. How about like a few of you almost doing like a little play sort of thing on the street, like a street play,
That's exactly what Edinburgh is all about. Yeah, expressing yourself and your art in your own way and talking about the subjects that matter to you. That was one place where I stopped and listened to a man for 20 minutes talk about Jesus. And if he'd have walked up to me in the street and stopped me, I wouldn't have listened, because he was just standing there and I was walking past. He caught my attention, so I stopped and listened. I didn't stay for very long, 20 minutes, and that was it. I was off. But I stopped and listened. And like I said, if he'd have come up to me, I'll see ya, I'm off. But again, that's just me. I'd like to encourage other people to come up with other ideas. You know, that street play. That'd be. What would we have? The Patricia and Antonio drama, or
don't even draw me into that one, mate. No, but yeah, I suppose if you sat down and thought, because I've never really thought about different ways of doing it. I've always spoken to people. Because I'm a bit like Del, I will talk to anyone about it and always have. Hindsight, I wish I'd recorded some of it, like I told you about the scaffold guy.
Just remembering to do it. And that's once upon a time, there was a time when I'd have quite happily just sat there and spoke about, you know, everything from the money conspiracy to UFOs, and it wouldn't have bothered me. It really wouldn't have bothered me. And yet in the last 10, 15 years, I've changed my attitude towards people, and I don't know what that is. I told you, I think part of that was just all of this on YouTube, all of this stuff on YouTube, and disconnecting myself probably when I shouldn't have done, you know. And I hope in some ways this is about reconnecting with it all again, because I did just take myself away from it all, you know. And I sat here and absorbed myself in every conspiracy I could find, you know. And I don't want to talk about a lot of them, but like you say, it's practice and
confidence as well, because that comes with it, doesn't it? The more you do something, the more confident you are.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I'm back here again, even though I'm not going to be here all day. It's just to get back out here. And I mean, like I say, Del's there. You know, I saw you in your first couple of live hangouts. It was a little bit stressful, and now you just look so much more relaxed there, and it's really nice to see. You understand that. There are some people I watch and they look the same now as they did when they first started their channels, and I don't trust that. There's them, and I know Del's a little bit against personalities, and I'm for personalities, but not in the celebrity sense, in the real sense of I want to see people stressed, right? Because this is a stressful business talking about some of this stuff, and some of these people just don't show any of it. And I want to see people happy when they found something and sharing it. I'll do that. For me, shows that people are real. You understand? I don't want to see boring politicians sitting up here giving me the spiel. You understand? I've had enough of that. It disgusts me. I never want to see it again if I can help it.
Yeah, and you know, the truth is the truth. No matter how people try and skew it or whatever, you can't change what is real. And like I said, I learned a lot from listening to Del. I thought I was okay with my approach with talking about subjects, but what I used to do was get pulled into their pseudoscience and try to argue with their pseudoscience, and you can't do that. It just doesn't work.
That's what I've been trying to say when I go and talk about my books. It's been so cleverly worded that you almost can't argue, because they've put in the caveat already that allows you to not argue. When they say that, you know, gravity is a force that both pushes and pulls, well, there you go. You can't argue with them then. You can't say it does one or the other, because they've got a caveat that says, well, if we was to ever see or observe this, then it would be the case that this is what is happening. You're like, but no. Like Del said, we've got an answer. It's here now. You know, with Phuket Word and his density, we've got the answers here now. We don't have to speculate on if something may happen later on, which is what I see in all my books now. All my books are all about what if. And like I said, that for me, that is what it's all about. I do like the what if. But when it comes down to talking about the earth and things like that, I don't think there can be a what if. Like Del says, it's there.
Yeah.
How do we tell people about it? You understand it? Like for me, and I hope Del don't take it the wrong way, but if I saw someone in the street and they got this one piece of evidence, right, and it's as obvious as anything, living in the world as we do now, someone comes up with a stack of books, most people are going to listen to the person with a stack of books. I don't know why. Person with a stack of books has got a nice white coat on, they're going to listen to that person. That's the part for me that we've got to change. Do you understand? We can always keep going on about the flat earth. It's not going to change. We know that. But what we do have to change is people's attitudes towards who they listen to. And they still want to listen to the people with a stack of books. And like I said, for me, those stack of books are full of caveats of misdirection. You understand? You could take it anywhere from their words, but the truth be told, where we all live, we know what's happening. Yeah, and they've tried to convince us. Dale says it a few times. They've tried to convince us not to trust our senses, and we need to get people to wake up and realise there are real people out here that can understand what's going on, and we are actually just trying to help people. We're not here to make money or con you out of anything, but make you realise that what you're listening to and seeing is not truth. It's not quite right, and they've worded it in such a way that it's made it almost impossible for us in our English way to do it. And that's why I'm out here trying to find other ways and trying to get it out of my chest what I need to say about this stuff. You understand?
Yeah, and I'm totally up to the point of where I don't know much. When I look at things, I don't know much. And when I came into the flat earth, I knew less. So, that tells you a lot. Well, it tells you a lot about me or where I was at. I didn't know how fast the earth is supposed to be spinning and the distance between us and the moon and the sun and all the physics. But it's made me have to learn their arguments to understand the nonsense of it. And yeah, I'm just so glad that I found my realization anyway.
Didn't mean to mute myself there. So I'm not going to say I'm an expert, but I did know some of those numbers, and I noticed the 666 degree tilt, 6.6 degrees. I noticed that as a coincidence a long time ago, right? And like I say, I thought I knew a lot. And then when people started saying it in a different way, I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And I had to go and check a lot of stuff. I had to go and look through a lot of my books. And I tell you, when I started looking at the words, and in some ways, I have to thank people like Maxwell. Yeah, I've got that book. Yeah. I've got the Earth book like that. I had to go look through them all again. And yeah, sure enough, all the little words are there that can be interpreted with their legalese in different ways, and that's not how it should be. You understand? But I don't know how to point it out. I've got it all. I can see it all in here, very nicely, it's all nicely laid out. But to get it out there to people it's incredibly difficult.
Well, I spoke to you about this before, that I really struggle with, because they got all the big words, and I struggle to keep things in my head. And once I start, not a battle, but once I start getting into a discussion, I lose all these important bits, and it's like my head's going panic. Yeah, and that's why I like what Dale's done, because he's giving you a base to stand upon and say, if you argue this, then show me. You say,
and that's the case with what happened with all the books. That they gave us a what if, but didn't tell us that it was a what if. Do you understand? And then they said that we had to sit here and understand what they were saying, even though it contradicted every part that you read. You understand? And it took a long time for anyone to see it. And it's only been recently that we've been allowed to even know it's happening. I do wonder why we've been allowed to see it. I do feel we're being led down a garden path, and it's hard for me sometimes to see people going too far down that path. You understand? There are too many people out there sure in themselves that they think that there's a dome and all this other stuff, and we don't know. You understand? You can sit there and say you've got evidences and things like this, but you don't know. And there are too many that are adamant that they know that this is the truth, and it's not the truth.
Yeah, I must admit, I have struggled with this from the beginning, when people kept saying, oh, there's a dome and we're like inside the Truman Show. And I'm thinking, all I know is that the area I live in, because I live by the sea and I can see the Isle of Wight, which is 60 miles away, and like I said to you, I could see boats coming behind it. I know with the maths that they give us, that I should not be able to see that. So that, for, you know, that's the, for me, that's the killer. You know, it's, and then you go like water can only be held in a container, and when it's in a container, it's flat, and you can't argue that. You can't, because that's the natural science.
There's a couple of things I've been thinking to myself in the last couple of days, and they are the things I want to talk about, and it is that there are only a few things that connect everyone in the world, okay, and one of them is death, and I do want to talk about death because everybody dies, no one escapes it. And the other one is what Dell's been pushing, and that's that wherever you are in the world, the water looks the same. You can't argue that, you know, when you stand on the poles, it looks different to it does on the equator. It does not. And yet in their books, it states that it should do just a little bit. It should vary just a little bit, and it does not. You understand? So the fact that these small things like whistle dying, which nobody wants to talk about, and the fact that water is flat, things like that, there are commonalities across the world which we can all talk about. But how do we do it? How do we bring it to people's attention? And at the moment, people think that the only thing we've all got in common is money and politics. Well, that's not true. I don't think everybody is interested in those things.
Yeah, totally.
I've got a few people in chat. Is there anyone?
Yeah. I've just looked down. I see Poncho.
Like Poncho, in there. Jamie Brown. Hello, mate. I know, and
hello, Del, as well. I want to say hello, Del, because.
Do not say hello, Del. Hello, mate. Nice to see you. Nice to be here.
Jamie.
Thank you. Spursky. Who's Spursky, mate? Do I know you, fella? Do you know?
Yeah, and Del's very good with things coming on. You know, he's almost like a natural speaker. That's what I like about him. He's very fluent when he speaks.
Who's that? Sorry, Del.
Del, yeah. Where
I
that's
stumble. What I said. So when you first watch him, to where Harry is now, you can see the progression, and I like to see that. Right, there are some people who have put themselves out there and they haven't progressed, not personally and not with their videos, and I don't like to see that. I remember your first videos, as nervous as anything, and not the same person. Now you seem quite comfortable most of the time. You seem very comfortable in chat and making comments, and I like to see that. You understand? Shows me you're a real person. Yeah, that's what I need for myself, at least.
Yeah, absolutely. He hasn't changed his person at all. He hasn't gone, oh, because this is trendy, I'm going to sort of go. He's just stuck with, this is how it is. This is, and there's a lot to be taken from what he's done.
Very much so. Very much so.
So, salute, Mr. Del.
He might have gone already.
Yeah, probably he's had enough of listening to us. Oh, the fog's back. It's just rolling in.
Pressing the wrong thing. Just checking my chat. What does that say? Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Poncho and his, that's why people are stupid. Do you know, for the longest time, I used to walk around saying to myself, everyone's just stupid. And I've realised you can't do that because it's not really their fault. You know, you are the environment you're brought up in. And I now feel very uncharitable for calling everybody so stupid for all those years, because I now realise all that stuff I thought I knew, it's almost irrelevant. It doesn't matter. And do you know, I've been thinking to myself the last few days, right? Rory, your lady, is she interested in whether the Earth is flat? Was she interested that the Earth was a globe in space? My lady isn't, and she wasn't. And there's too many of them people out there that don't care about flat Earth for this to gain traction. And for me, we need to take flat Earth into the other areas. And for me, everything is involved on flat Earth. Everything from politics and religion and money. It happens here. It's happening to us all the time, everywhere. And we've got to do something about it. Yeah. And as much as I like what Pete does in his own way, for myself, I won't go around calling people stupid anymore. I won't, because I know it's not up to them.
Yeah, I've never called people like baltards or retards or.
In my mind, I was very arrogant in many ways about a lot of things. It's only
because you're just learning. If
you realise how much I didn't know.
Yeah, if you use their language in like their negative way, then you're just being what they are, and you've got to rise above that. And I'm guilty. I'm totally guilty of getting pulled into a bit of drama. And sometimes I think, oh, for fuck's sake, Brendan, shut your mouth. Sometimes, but sometimes I see something and I just say how I'm feeling, and it's not like an attack. It's just a feeling that I'm trying to express. And like I said, I don't express myself very well. I'm learning. I'm trying to learn.
That's because I am positive now that we was all trained not to share this stuff, right? To just go to work and do as you're told, right? It's not British to show your emotions and things like that. You understand? And for me, that's bullshit, mate. Long before all that crap came along, I think people were quite happy to share emotions and sharing births, deaths, and marriages. Yeah, and all too private. You understand?
And the other thing, people, when I first done my videos, like I said before, my biggest fear was criticism. People are going to judge you, and you're putting yourself out there. And that was the most scariest bit for me. But now I'm quite happy if someone wants to criticize me. Fine. And again, I'm learning, I'm stumbling, but my heart's in the right place. And for me, that's the important bit. If your heart's in the right place.
And for me, that's hard to tell with some people because they're not allowing enough of themselves to come out on camera. Does that make sense? And for me, that's what it's all about. It's one of the reasons why I started my channel, because I see there weren't enough, for me, real people out there. Do you understand? And I don't care. I'm not after thousands of subs, but as long as people know that there are a few real people out there, I'm happy. People buying into the bullshit. And I'm glad there are, as much as I disagree with a lot of what Glenn says, FEVBC, I'm glad there are people like him calling some things out, right? Because I like to see, as I've said before, both sides of the coin. I've always liked to see it. I hated the news when it went from showing different stories to all the same crap. I used to like the different opinions in different newspapers, and it's just not there anymore. And I'm scared that it will start happening on YouTube. Everyone will start one bandwagon because it sits well with them, and that's not how it should be. There should always be people asking questions about everything.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely agree. And if you don't keep asking the questions and keeping it stops it from being real all the time. And like you say, it becomes just a part of the, I don't know,
daily grind. And that's what they did. They stopped us from asking questions. That's exactly for me what school's about. You can ask questions relevant to what's in the question on the page. But outside of that, no, you keep your questions relevant to the book I've given you, and I can't handle that. But like I said, I don't want to just pull my children out of it and act like it's not happening. I'd like to do something more proactive, something, Like
but it's hard with this, with the system. Like when my girls were at school, now Rachel, she's type 1 diabetic. She's insulin dependent. And ever since she was a baby, she had to have the flu jab. And when I realised that the shit that's going into all this stuff, I obviously as a parent thought, fucking hell, I've been allowing these doctors to poison my daughter, because that's what they were doing. And every time she had the flu jab, she got really ill, and she was ill through the winter. Well, this year, we both said it's not going to happen. It's not. She didn't want it. I didn't want her to have it. And she hasn't had a cold. She hasn't been ill. In fact, it's the best she's been. So, my personal opinion on this is don't have flu jabs.
My mum did the same thing. My mum had a flu jab last September, and within a month she was coughing and spluttering and blowing her nose every 10 minutes. And it's just not. And again, it's a slightly grim subject, but on the same thing as what you're saying about that medication. When my stepdad was dying of kidney failure through diabetes and all the other problems he had, for me, all I saw was them dragging his life out. He wasn't happy. He didn't want to be here. and yet they kind of forced him to. You understand?
Mm.
They didn't give him false hope. I won't say that, but for myself, there was no need to keep it going for so long. And the only way, the reason I can see they did it was for money. They made money out of my dad taking 6 years to die, and I don't want to ever see anyone do that again. Do you know, it's a deep thought, but I'd like to get people to the point where they can just accept death and say, I don't want no more medication, please. I would like to go. When Kerry's great auntie Gladys died, that was what she wanted. She got to 83, 84, something like that. And in the end, she just wanted to die. And they just wanted to keep giving her a pill. And she didn't want to know. She was never a religious lady. And yet one of the last things she said to me was, I just want the Lord to take me. And I was just like, this is awful. Why are we doing this to people? Why are we...
Yeah.
You don't make a dog suffer that much, do you? This is crazy. What are we doing to people?
Oh, it is, Richard. It's really scary that we can prolong the agony, prolong the death. And like you say, it comes back to because they're making money off the back of it.
Yeah, and people are afraid of death. And I'd like to take that away from people. I don't know how. For me, religion isn't the answer. But a big part of everything that we speak about on the flat earth and how it is all here, is a big part of dying. And people don't want to talk about it. You understand?
People don't want to talk about death because we've talked about this before, about taking our kids to funerals and things like that. And it's so important that they understand that life is a cycle.
Yeah.
You live, you're born, you live, you die.
It's the reason why I think in some ways having a pet or knowing someone with a pet is quite important, in that you can then have an easier way of accepting death, because there ain't no pet that lives forever, unless you've got a tortoise, of course, but there's no animals that live for longer than you do, yeah, and there's not many of them. And I think... Or an
alligator.
Fish,
they live a long time.
I missed that bit, sorry.
Alligators, they live a long time.
Might have one in my sewers.
Richard, I'm just going to pop and get a drink. I'm really...
Oh, help yourself, mate. Help yourself, mate.
I'll be back in...
See if there is anyone in chat.
Yeah, there's a few.
Jamie, do you want to come in for a chat for a minute? Or even Del, would you like to pop in for a moment? The sniping gimps here. They don't come near me at the minute, thank goodness. Oh my God, hi, Barbie McGill. Very nice to see you here. No, again, I don't think energy ever dies, Barbie. And it's not just you. For me, it's all about willpower. All right? What gets you up in the morning is what will get you up after you die. And people are not ready to accept that yet. Oh. Just going to try and send out a couple of invites. I'm new to all this, so bear with me. And I'm not going to be on here for hours, but I'd love to just say hello to people. I do like to listen to your chats and your hangouts, but I don't often get time to interact. But I'm always listening, and there's not much you lot talk about I haven't listened to and interpreted in my own way. Jamie Brown, there is too many Jamie Browns. Which one are you? Put you a little bit on your live video, live hangout bubbles. Do you know, I even think I managed to understand just a little bit of it. Not much. Now let me try that Jamie again. Because I don't know if I'll be able to go on Jamie's tonight, and I'd just like to say hello. What's your icon picture look like? Hi, Marie. Yeah, see, look, do you know, I can see some of you talking about it in the chat, words of gummage and things like that. Again, for me, it's the language, right? We've been conned with language to think and emote different things to certain words, and it's it's making it difficult for us now with a certain understanding to communicate with everyone out there still watching EastEnders and X-Men films. You understand? And we have to learn to find a new language. Let me try this in a minute. Hello, Del.
You doing it? You all right?
Nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you, fella.
Are you all right?
I'm good. I'm good. Do you know, I listen to almost all your hangouts. I haven't listened to your hats on the street yet, but I've been listening to your channel for a long, long time, and I've always admired what you do and what you say. Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
I don't always agree with everything you say, but you know, I hope that's what this is all about. You understand? When
Of course it is, mate. Of course it is. There's so many things that are subjective as well. You know, the thing about the earth is an objective thing. So it's a language that we can all use. We don't have to involve our personalities, you know. But,
yeah, I do understand that. I do understand that. But like I said, there's a few, you know, characters out here, and I can't trust them because they're not. Understand it? They're just faces on the screen, and that's not quite enough for me. And you doing your hangouts often enough has allowed me to see that I genuinely think you're just a normal bloke, just trying to find the truth and just tell other people about it. You know.
but mate, I'm just a guy from a housing scheme in Scotland. You know, my journey just happened to take me through a certain avenue of knowledge and understanding that helped with this whole thing. So, as I say, you know, as I've always said it from the beginning, there's so many aspects and characters here to muddy the waters and to detract from what the actual subject is. And it's clear to see. I mean, for me, it's so blatantly obvious now. It's not even an issue to try and find out who these characters are. But at the same time, I don't need to waste my time sitting pointing at them, you know?
No, I don't want to do that either. And for me, it's like Rory was saying just now. He used to. He says he struggles to find the words to describe things. Well, for myself, I don't think you need all the words. I think that was the con. That was what going to school and learning all that stuff was so that you'd get confused when, like you're trying to say, the answer is very simple. You understand? And for me, that's what we have to try and get out to people, is that it's not as complicated as the TV would have you think it sometimes. You understand?
No, it's simple. You know, it is very simple. It's just about the objective, the natural world that we're living in, whatever natural means, but we take it as it is with its laws and its, you know, so it's no hard, and it's very simple for me. And I say to people all the time, ever since we were kids, even in your social circles, if somebody was saying, you know, oh, I've got this great new bike, and you know, people, mate, you'd always have the attitude of show me, you know, let me see, you know. And for me, that's as simple in life. If somebody claims something about reality, I should be able to see it. It's as simple as that. Yeah.
Hello, Del.
How you doing, mate?
Good to see you, mate.
How you too, man?
Yeah, I'm all good. Apart from the weather, but it's.
I know. Yeah.
I'm not raining yet, but for myself, in some ways, that was how I felt as a child. I've said it before. I went standing in assembly, listening to the morning prayer and stuff. I didn't understand that. For me, there was nothing to pray to, you know, and throughout my life, one of my favourite subjects as a child was science. And my son came home just recently from school doing the same circuitry test you do at school. You know, the little board where you learn to put a light bulb and put it into a circuit. I love that. Like you say, it was there. It was practical. It was in my hands. I could do something with it. But then when they started speaking about other things, it made me want to look more. But like I said, I think that was the purpose. You understand? To keep you stuck in that rabbit hole of reading all those glossy books with their marvelous pictures and the amazing adventures you can go and have out there somewhere, you know, rather than keeping us here and keeping an eye on the world around us and actually doing something about it and stop it from getting to the state it's in.
Yeah.
They wanted us off exploring outer space.
Exploring your imagination.
And I did. I've been there for years. I went there for 20 years. You know, I've been out there with Luke Skywalker and Captain Kirk. You know, I want to come back here and do something about this place now. I'm fed up with David Cameron's and Tony Blair's and Barack Obama's and all this crap. I've had enough of it, you know.
Yeah, it's boring. It's fucking boring.
Yeah. And do you know, I feel very aggrieved that all the Richard Dawkins books I've read and the Michio Kaku books I've read, I'm very aggrieved that it didn't have a caveat at the beginning saying, read this carefully. You know, the words are not quite what you think. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need a legal degree.
Yeah.
It's awful.
It's crazy. It's amazing the rabbit holes you take yourself down when you're searching. But you're not aware that they're rabbit holes. It's all very good in hindsight, you know, but the amount of hours you spend, you know, listening to guys like Richard Feynman and Dawkins and all these characters, and you go, eventually the penny drops, you know, and you go, where are you, man?
When you realise you've just got their story in your mind, and it's not how that's all it is, their story.
There's no reality with it. It's just detached from reality.
No tangible reality, no.
No. They took it away, you know, the twisted science. You know, people don't even have an understanding of the subdivisions of science and how it was used and twisted against them. You know, they just think science is just all this one thing that's all lumped together and it means the same thing, when it really doesn't. And when you separate it and you understand that, that's when it starts to become very simple, and then you can identify where they're wandering for real natural science, you know.
I do wonder if that was the part of being in the education where they split science into physics, biology, and chemistry. You know, whereas when I was at school, it was just science. There was no.
Well,
and I think for me, that helped me keep a better grasp on everything.
These sciences are still based in practical reality, though. They are applied sciences. But you're right. You know, they did have. You know, you could take that option of physics, biology, chemistry. But, you know, they're still in the natural sciences.
Yeah, and there's actually lots more disciplines of science, but they only present you with 3. And to a lot of people, they don't think there's any more science to it. You understand? Yeah. They'll still lump it all in as one, but they'll think that those 3 that everybody talks about the most and studied at school is all there is to discuss. And there's not. Like I say, there's loads more of it. And once you put all those parts together, you see things differently.
There's different dynamics in this whole thing. You know, there's a social science aspect that's going on that everybody's aware of, and you can look and observe and study that, and you know that's actually there. And then obviously the question that we're all involved in it for is, you know, a natural science question. So there's different aspects, you know, and obviously people are using formal science like mathematics, but it's good. It's applicable if it matches reality. We can use it. It's a wonderful thing. But
when you take it over the imaginary horizon into them numbers that are just so big, they just don't apply to us here and now anymore, you know?
That's it. As soon as it goes away from the practical world, then I've got an issue with that, you know. We're starting to wander into ideology and religions and stuff, you know? So.
Well, that's what it becomes. It becomes philosophy.
Yeah.
I've said before, for me, that's what I want to discuss in a lot of ways, but I am aware that it's for myself, it's more important to just get the word out there that things are not what people think. You understand? I'll sit here and talk about the philosophy for years, but the other stuff we have to do now. But I don't know quite what it is, and that's why I'm here talking to people to try and get these ideas out there. That the small ones that I've got, hopefully, might trigger off someone else's ideas. You know?
Yeah. So every aspect, man. I think, and it's they use the media, they use all their methods to put people in ignorance. So there's nothing wrong with us employing the exact same tools. And use it to your benefit, you know.
No, definitely.
That's what YouTube is, isn't it? It's a toy that they've put out there, almost as a control mechanism. But for us adults, we've taken this toy and are now using it for our good purpose, of waking people up.
Yeah, and for good or bad, that's why they promote channels like PewDiePie, because they want the majority of people to think it's just a playground for morons and idiots. And I haven't found that over the years. I know that part of it exists, but for myself, YouTube has been a tool, like Del says, to find out all sorts of information that I would never have had the opportunity to do so. Since they closed down my local library, half the books that were in there have just disappeared. The new library's got half the books it used to have, and no one knows where all the other books have gone. And all the books that are left now are nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there to program you. That's the only reason why they've got them there. It's all about the programming. It's to keep us dumbed down and not to question.
So, or question what they want you questioning. You know, looking at what they want you to think's important, and really it's just delusions and distractions. You know. But that's the thing, they try and make people like us out. Oh, we don't like science and we don't employ. You know, no, we do. We love it. You know, we're employing it right now. We're using technology, It's just the pseudoscience, and when it wanders away from the actual practical science, the people like me and yourselves have an issue with. If somebody's making a claim to you, you don't find any proof, scientific proof for that, then why should I fucking take it on? You know?
I think that's what too many people are doing. They've wandered off with say their Bible, and they claim to know it all. They've wandered off with their science and claim to know it all. Well, I've taken a little bit of both, and I can take out, like you say, the bits that are meaningless, that are waffling off about a God that may or may not be up there, and bits that says treat people nicely. And I've taken the bits out of science that says, well, you can take this and weigh it and measure it, and then there's stuff out there. And I've taken the bits I think I need, and you're right so far, because I know I ain't buying that bullshit anymore. I'm really not buying it.
Yeah.
I've done for a while.
The common law, you know, you treat people as you want people to treat you. It's just common sense. You know, people, I've had it so many times say, yeah, but the Bible teaches you how. No, decent. You know, if you're a decent person, you know that you don't want to be treated like an idiot or be treated disrespectful. So you wouldn't treat someone else disrespectful, and that is common sense. It's what you want. You know,
and yet there are still people out there making YouTube videos about other people as though it, you know. If someone made a video about you in such a way, would you be happy about it? And they don't even consider it. And that's bizarre to me.
Mm.
That's trapped in a certain direction in my eyes.
That's what I've spoke about before, getting involved with this. And, you know, people are always talking about the players and the blah, blah, blah. You keep trying to say it simply to them. Look, this question's not about, you know, who I am as a person. This question is just about the objective world. So the people who sit and constantly make attack videos and slanderous videos, then you know that they're just there. They're either just stupid, illogical morons, or they're there deliberately to muddy the waters, you know? So, I mean, when I see that shit, it doesn't bother me, because at the end of the day, when I see them doing it, I know they've got nothing. You know?
Yeah. And there's a load of them. There's a load of them that have nothing except for big mouths. And calling other people out, and I don't like to listen to them. It's one of the reasons why I like to listen to you, and I like to listen to the people that are coming onto your platform to talk. You understand? I like to hear these new voices that are just getting lost in amongst all the other nonsense, and I'm really not liking it.
I'm happy that there's a lot of younger people that are now stepping up and putting themselves on here, because that's, for me, is a massive thing, is getting the younger generation. It's like my children. They understand the bullshit that they've been fed. You know, they're not stupid. These young people are not stupid, and it's easier to open their eyes than it is someone who's like us. I'm 50, you know, and hard nuts to crack sometimes. But for the younger people,
out there first, mate. If you guys hadn't stepped out there first, then a lot of us other people wouldn't have stepped out. You know, I wouldn't have stepped out if you and Martin and Daniel hadn't stepped out and said some words. I wouldn't have done it. And Dell was here before me. I wouldn't have done it if Dell hadn't stuck his face out here. You know, I appreciate you all for doing that, because I'd still be sitting here just moaning to myself about it all. You understand? Getting nowhere.
It's like that wee video of the guy on the hill. I'm sure you've probably seen it.
Mm.
Somebody's video, and it's just one guy starts dancing away to himself on the hill, and somebody else joins, and then two other people join. Before you know it, the whole hill's up dancing.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
And that says it all for me, you know. And sometimes people just need to think, oh, was it safe to dip my toe in the water? Other people are dipping their toe in the water, so fuck it. You know, I'll join in. That's just the way it goes, isn't it?
Once you're in, then people know it's safe to jump in as well. That's I said it in one of my earliest videos. I've never been scared of jumping in, but sometimes you do need to see other people doing it first.
Yeah, that's it. Some people just haven't got the commitment. I heard you talking about that earlier, but I think it comes to, you know, if you're empowered in a certain subject and you know it and you understand it, then that's how it was easier for me to go on camera, because I knew I didn't have to be on there to be entertaining or any kind of personality type. I knew the subject and I knew it was objective, so I could articulate it, and that suited me fine, you know. As soon as it starts focusing on me as a person, that's like I don't want to know. You know?
Yeah, I understand. But like I said, for me, it's not about presenting your personality, but just being yourself. You understand? And again, for myself, a lot of people take that word personality and they've got a certain image attached to it, and I've got for myself quite a few different images attached to what personality means. And
So,
you're not Kelsey Grammer, you understand? Kelsey Grammer's a different person these days.
yeah, like everybody's personalities, you need that. That's what I'm saying. They use different personalities to push their nonsense onto people just now. So we need the same. You need personalities who can, because some people can't be bothered listening to me, Scottish, big, brash, you know, where they'll take it easier from, you know, a female or Rory or yourself. You know, that's why you need the different personalities. You do need that. But what I say it for is because, you know, in order for people to understand, when these people are focusing on the personalities, you know that they people have got an issue. Because, you know, there's no point in us attacking each other's personality because nobody's perfect. You know? So
keeping it real, just like you say, be yourself. Because I am like I am on here as I am off of here. You know, I do some crazy things. I've done some crazy things. I've done stunt work. I love people. I like being with people, and I like talking to people. I like being funny. I like being serious. That's my personality. And hopefully, because like I said, I haven't got thousands of subscribers. I've only got a few hundred. But the people that are subscribed to me, I hope they get something from what I do. You know, I've done my own proof that the Earth don't spin. I've done so many videos on the moon, on the phases of the moon, on how light works. On, you know, I've done a lot of stuff, but people don't. You know, I've been attacked, and people don't bring that up. All the stuff that I have done, they just attacked on some of the. Yeah, I make mistakes. I'm the first to say it. I make mistakes, and I'm glad I make mistakes because that's how I'm learning.
Do you know? It's like you said, you've made yourself like a proof video. I don't want to come here and make a proof video as such, but I want to try and find, even if it's just myself, a way to reach out to other people, not even just so much for about the flat Earth, but with the aims of bringing them back here. Because like I was saying earlier, Rory, about our ladies, they're not interested in this stuff. You know, however important it is to us, they're just not interested in it. But if I could get them interested in whatever the controversy at the moment with Daphne Rimmel, if I could get them to come look at flat Earth videos while watching beauty videos, then I will do so. You understand? And I'm not sure, Del, if you're aware of it, but I've put you in quite a few of my little videos, and it's not for criticism or anything like that as such. But so if other people come watch it, they'll go, "Who's that fella? I would like to go and listen to him." Do you understand? And that's for me what it's about. I want to try and reach out to as many different people from different areas and try and get some ideas that will just get people.
Do you know what, Richard? If they had, say, on Emmerdale, a storyline, someone on there believes the Earth's flat, all the women would be talking about it. They'd be talking it down the bingo. They'd be talking it down the shopping centres. Yeah. Because it's not coming out of the TV, out of this reality for that. It's their reality. If it's not coming out of there isn't an interest, and you can't make someone interested in that.
No, you can't. And you know, you said it earlier about performing dramas. In the last sort of 5 years, a lot of TV programs have taken their cancelled programs onto the internet with dramatizations on here, and they all do it mainly for the fun. And I think that's amazing. And I'd like to see flat Earth dramatizations on YouTube. Do you understand? That would be. Even parodies of some of the funnier hangouts and interviews that are out there, you know, how amazing would that be? Just to, like you say, draw people in from different areas to have a giggle at things, if that's the only way to bring them in.
So, some people like comedy, some like art, some like seriousness, some like, it's just a matter of packaging it in every way you possibly can. And there seems to be that. There seems to be a good diversity of people happening now. Every time I go on YouTube now, there's new channels, there's new people, something else is coming up in the recommendations, so it's good to see. That's why, get back to what you said, that's why I opened my platform up, and I really mean it. You know, anybody can come there, use it, come out and speak, have their say, because that you know yourself, Rory, you've been there. People were moaning that certain celebrity types were just holding the attention and they weren't, you know, giving other people the platform. So, you know, you offer that to people.
And I find it rather conspicuous that none of them have sort of stopped by and tried to join in as such. You understand? I noticed Mark Sargent pops into the chat a couple of times just to do his rounds, as he says, but none of them have taken the opportunity to just come in and not be on one of their shows, but just be on minutes. You understand? Yeah. I do find that a bit odd that they don't do these things. Yeah, well, that's it. You know, think they're out there for a different reason. Yeah, they might be spreading the truth, but why? Why are you trying to make a profit out of the truth? Are you? Because I'm not here for that. I'm really not.
Yeah. Well, that's it. You know, it's I can only be me, and you can only be you. That's the whole point of it. As I always say, people are entitled to live and exist just the same as I am. So if that's their choices and that's the way they conduct themselves, then that's up to them, isn't it? You know? But aye, you know, I'm not really bothered about the same faces coming on, you know, the platform. It's encouraging for me when I see new people. Like last night, you know, with a girl came on from Norway, I think she's from. It was great to see, you know, and hopefully that starts to happen more and more, because it gives me a gauge of, you know, what's happening with people and how many people are there as well, you know.
For me, like that's what you were saying just now about the people dancing on the hills. The fact that you've got someone from Norway, I've got Bubbles from over in Belgium. He comes and says hello quite often. This is amazing to me. This is absolutely amazing, and hopefully it's the start of that dance, you know. And it might be quiet right now, but hopefully we'll get the ball rolling, you know. And for your sort of platforms, I'll do it myself eventually. That's what it's all about. Not, you know, I'm gonna have to say, you know, a couple of names like, you know, the Morgal and stuff. I don't want to have to sit there and just listen to Morgal's interpretation and accept it. I want to hear a lot of different people's interpretations of all the things and make my own mind up. But I think people have just latched onto the Morgal and then that's it. I'm happy. That's enough for me. And it's not. I'm afraid it's not.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Too many of them have done it with a few of the bigger channels. They've just latched on and they're happy. And I'm not. There's still quite a few questions that need answering. And one of them, Adele's right, it's the exploration part. If there's more, I want to know. You understand? And I'd like to go if we can.
Yeah. How are we ever going to know if we don't have that?
and some people don't seem interested in talking about it, just their own stories. And I want to talk about everybody's stories.
I want to explore. And if someone offered me a boat, I'd be the first to go. Absolutely, would I?
Yeah. And for now, the only place we've got to explore is on here and other people's ideas. And so for now, that's what I'm happy doing. I love listening. I love listening to all of you people. You know, it's fascinating. After watching David Attenborough for so many years, it's very refreshing to hear a different voice every other day. It's amazing.
So, what's wrong with you, Richard? Yeah. Yeah, he's great, David Attenborough, isn't he? God, blimey.
Didn't we all used to love it and watch it, though? We all sat there and watched it every time the new series was out. We all sat there glued to the TV. Yeah.
But didn't he got pulled up, didn't he, for actually saying he was filming somewhere and he wasn't. He was in a studio with and they put the animals and filmed them and got little bushes around and, you know, it was all fake.
It's just not right. And then people don't catch it, do they? They don't get it. They don't understand what they're seeing.
Yeah. Listen, guys, I'm going to scoot off. I've got a couple of things.
Pop in, Del. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for the invite, man.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
I'll drop into yours at some point. You always seem to clash when I've got other stuff going on.
No problem. The two of you are welcome anytime. You know that. All right.
I know Teen's been trying to edge me on to come on. But like I said to Teen, I said, you know, all I'd be doing is just sitting there agreeing with what you're saying. I've got my claim. My only claim is I can prove that the Earth don't spin, and I've got a video. You know, people want to go and look at it. But yeah, I'd just be sitting there and agreeing. I love Ali. I've had some contact with Ali B. Lovely guy, really nice guy.
Yeah, they are. Everybody is, man. Everybody's decent and looking for the same thing. So, well, people are willing to collaborate and pull together, you know. It's good. But you know, come on anytime you like, man. Even just to share your experience, mate. You know, people like to hear that side of it as well. So
yeah, definitely, I'll be on there soon. Like I said, it's all about building up a bit of confidence to put your face out here and just speak while you're there.
Exactly. I was one of the guys who honestly don't want to be the centre of attention. Don't put me in camera. Keep all that stuff. Don't have a party for me. Do not have anything. All that kind of stuff. So I know how hard
it had to be done in the end, didn't it? It had to be done. Like, I'm glad someone else recognised that, because there wasn't people out there just doing it. Yeah,
that's it. That's it.
Too many
guys.
Videos. All right, Dale. Nice to chat with you, mate.
All right, Dale, thanks for coming, mate.
Yes, people. Cheers.
Yeah, again, I was trying to invite a couple of other people in, but it's not working. That was lovely work, wasn't it, Rory?
That was really good. I've wanted to chat with Dale for a long time.
Yeah, same here. That was nice to get the ball rolling. Well, I'm sure we'll continue that at some point. In there, while I invite other people in.
Yes, I'm going to just drink my coffee and have a quick roll up, actually, Richard. So
no, help yourself.
2 tinks.
I don't think I've ever seen my chat so busy, but I don't want to be one of those that just sit there and read the chat out. I have loads to talk about, but it's whether other people are interested in it. I'm miles behind on the comments. So Bubbles was talking about taking it to the streets of Edinburgh. You know, my sister was there at the time that the flat Earth stuff all kicked off, and I'll tell you, if I'd have had the balls I got now, I might have stood there and just said something out to the crowd before it all closed down. I did try organising up on the stage and give my little spiel, one of my early videos, 40-minute speech, just to a whole bunch of people at work, but it never worked out. It never works out the way you want it to. But I would like to take it to the streets. And like I said, for myself, I wouldn't do it like Dale does it. I wouldn't approach people, but I would stand there and draw them in with my boring voice. Hi, Rawkin, Wurzel Gummidge, Barbie McGill. I'll tell you, Barbie, I'll put me in a brick before I started, but I'm loving it now. Once you start talking, you know, it's all right. And Marie, hi, still here? I think Pete's gone, hasn't he? Got a lot going on in chat. The globe is government. You know, yeah, you know, I do wonder sometimes with those G's popping up everywhere. Yeah, I remember a short while ago, my son said to me while he was sitting at the table eating dinner, "Do you actually think the Earth's flat, Dad?" And I said, "Well, what do you think?" And he said, "Well, in the books it says this, and in the books it says that." I said, "Well, there you go. That's what it says in the books." That's my lady. Hello. Excuse me one moment. I can't find it. No, she's just saying hello. Hey, Barbie, do you want to come say hello for 10 minutes? Or Rawkin? Bubbles, I'll have you on very soon, my friend. I don't think Maria will want to pop in, though. Where's the Gummidge? Did you watch Dustin Gollyhon's documentary? I forgot what it's called already. Rubbish. That was about the race situation, and yeah, very much so. People's hearts and minds. You understand that race thing, and I will talk about it at some point because I have lots to say on it. I hope you do, Marie, one day. I hope you do pop in to say hello. That would be lovely, just to say hello. But yeah, the race thing. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this. It's something that's occupied my mind for a long time, and it doesn't actually bother a lot of people. If everybody remembers Gary Bushell and his reaction to apparently finding out that he had African ancestry, well, that's not my response. Now, I don't know if it'll come up. There's a scar on my arm just there. See, it's ever so slightly raised. Now, this is not supposed to happen to Caucasian folks. And so my doctor told me I must have African ancestors somewhere. And I've tried looking, but it obviously don't go back that far. but for the scarring to form in such a way is something to do with the African blood. That was just what my doctor said. Dustin Gollihon is awesome, and yeah, his documentary the other day was absolutely brilliant. I hate to say it, but apart from his speech from about 10 minutes in that he writes was beautiful, but everything that was in his video I've seen before, except for the artwork at the very end of a young African child. Beautiful artwork. Might make you cry, but it's still very nice. And I'm just trying to find Jamie's icon, but I can't find it. I was trying to find it earlier, but then I was listening to Dell and got lost. But Barbie, do you want a quick invite? You gonna come say hello? Am I spelling your name wrong, Jamie? No, I just can't find your icon. Let's try Barbie anyway, and even if she doesn't want to come in. I wonder, did anyone catch the beginning of the hangout where there are some claims for a polar circumnavigation? We'll be looking into that at some point, but not today. It was just to put it out there for other people. Keep looking that way for my chat. I wonder if this fella's about. I hope everybody's well. No way. Are there that many Martin Leakers? What is that all about? I thought that would be a rather unusual name. Say hello in chat if you want to come in and just say hello. You don't have to stay for long. All you have to do is listen if you don't want to say anything. Waiting for Rory to come back. Someone to bounce off.
Like magic.
Hey! Hey, listen, also, the other day, Matt Boylan put out his a video, War on YouTube. Do you know, he had a little rant in the middle of it, and he mentioned, what do you think you're doing sitting there smoking your joints on camera? And I wondered, who's he talking about? There's not many big channels that sit there smoking joints on camera, and Martin's one of them. Is that who he's talking about? I never see Jaren or the Moore guy or any of the big channels sitting there smoking joints. So who is that?
I don't think I've ever smoked. But I don't smoke indoors anyway, so.
You don't smoke?
Not indoors.
Oh, good for you. I was just going to invite someone. I've forgotten who I invited there. Did you make yourself a cup of tea, yeah?
Yeah. No, I made the coffee earlier. I just had a quick roll up just outside because I've got no proper smoke.
I've boiled one of those fellas. Have you not? Oh, dude.
Ah, but I've got three little girls on the go.
You got to wait for that. Matt Boylan, quickly. Was he one of the ones that brought you to this then?
Who, me?
Yeah, Rory.
No.
Did you watch his videos later?
I had loads of recommendations coming up, and I think it was the same old Eric Debay. But I'll be totally honest with you. I watched about 3 minutes of him, and I couldn't stomach. There was something about him that just did not sit with me. So I thought, stuff that. But I did look at other stuff. I can't remember what I looked at, but when it was something about the Earth's curvature formula. And once I got that in my head, I thought, I've got to check this out. You know, so that's when I went down the beach with the telescope.
Do you know, you saying that it made me like years ago. I saw a little bit of a math boiling video, and it was the sort of stand-up one. And I did the same thing. I couldn't stomach it. I didn't think it was funny. I didn't want to listen to him. I just turned it off. It was only since all this stuff has been happening that I've actually looked into him and his videos a bit more. And I don't know. I don't want to go too far into it, but like I said, that thing that him mentioning people smoking joints on camera made me like, he's not talking about the big channels there. You understand? And I do worry about little things like that. I know most people don't pick up on those small things, but
well, most, I'm not saying everyone, but a big percentage of people in the flat Earth.
Really, Jamie. Sorry, Rory.
That they all seem to smoke ganja. So.
Jamie, I want to invite you in, but your avatar's not coming up for your channel. Can I do it on here? No, hold on. Can't find you. Let me see if I can bring up the other thing. Try this one. Oh, I can't believe how much better this little laptop is than my other one. That one's got the wide view. Did you see that?
No.
See like half the house.
I see the windows have just been repointed up on the edge above your head.
On my ass.
Yeah.
That was done before we moved in, and I have to say it's not a very good job.
I didn't say anything.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's on camera at the minute. And it's the same upstairs as well. Yeah, it's not very good.
Well, if you do have any problems with your roof or any building work, I'll be happy to do it for free for you.
Oh, I couldn't let you do it for free. You'd have to have some smokes and some tea at least.
Yeah, I might have a cup of tea and a slice of cake.
No, that'd be cool. Do you know,
I mean that totally.
I will let you know. Just after we moved in, we had the roof done. It wasn't actually us. It's a council place. It's a lovely council place. And oh god, they was the worst roofers ever. They made such a mess that they dropped like 3 poles through the garage roof. They dug up, you know, like what a divot is. Yeah, they dug up about 30 divots where they were just chucking the poles off the roof. They smashed 3 pavement stones out the front by chucking their things off the roof. It was a nightmare, tell ya.
Outrageous, mate.
And it's like I say, this is the council. It's what you pay your tax and your rent and all the other crap for. It's disgusting. Treat people like shit. Excuse my language.
That's how they see you.
Really annoyed with it.
That's how they see you. They see you as not even a second-class citizen. It reminds me of the old what's his name, the Ronnies, where I look down on you because you're middle class, whereas he looks up at me because I'm upper class, and the middle class looks down at him because he's working class. And
that's just how they want it. That's just how they want it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, let me see. Oh, you can't join in a minute anyway. No worries, Jamie. I will be listening later, but I won't be able to jump on either. And yeah, it's not about liking Math Boyland. It's about, like I was just trying to say to Dale, it's about how he presents himself, right? That's, for myself, that's not real, right? That is not real. I don't know about his girlfriend, his wife, whatever it is. It's just, Jamie, you're a real bloke. All right, Rory's a real fella. Okay, it's not his real name, but he's a real fella. And Del, he's a real bloke. It doesn't matter to me whether you're right or wrong. I need to see some real people for a little while. You understand? And Math Boyland's not real for me, I'm afraid.
No, it all seems productive, like a production. A proper money's been spent on his productions.
Do you know? It's things like, when I watch him in his artwork, you know, when he's flopping around with that big old mop, I think that's fascinating. I love that. I think that's absolutely amazing. And yet, when I listen to him, he's not speaking from the heart. You understand? When I listen to Dale, He's not having to think about what he's saying. He's not reading from a script. He's just talking. When I listen to Matt Boyland, that's not
Polished.
I don't like it. Bye, Bubbles. We'll talk very soon.
Bubbles.
He is there. I was trying to invite a couple of other people on before I invited him on, but now he's going anyway.
I actually
really nice
left a comment in his chat in French. So I was really chuffed with that.
That's what I said earlier. I was sitting there, I was listening to it for a few minutes and a couple of words, and I was like, yeah, I'm slowly. I'll give myself a couple of years, but I'll get there. That's what I thought.
If I just keep listening to what they're saying, I was sort of getting a gist of bits and pieces. And again, it's hand expressions and body language when they talk.
Yeah. And like I said, that's what I'm saying about Matt and some of the people like that. I don't get that from him. I can't. His body language don't match his words. His eyes don't match his words. Does that make any sense? I've said recently there's a channel called Bombard's Body Language, and she's just taken off like no one's business. At least 35,000 subscribers last time I see, and yet I was there when she had under 200. I don't agree with everything she says, but she's helped sort of validate a lot of the things I used to think about watching people and how they speak and how they talk and things like that. You understand? And I know for myself, you can't apply it to every single movement and every single word that people say. But I do get worried that some people have taken what she's saying literally, and they're now trying to apply it to everything everybody says all the time. And you can't do that, yeah? Sometimes you just get nervous. You act slightly differently and you look the wrong way, you know? Sometimes that does happen. And like
it's
I said,
real. It's,
when you watch Dale or yourself or people like me, I hope you see them things, because I don't see that in some of the bigger channels. Yeah, they don't make mistakes. And
I totally mess up when I'm doing videos, and even when I've done it again, and I think it doesn't matter. That's just me, and people understand. That's just me.
Yeah, and like you know, it's, for me in some ways, it's like when you get a new job, right? When you get a new job, you make mistakes, but when you've been there a couple of years, you forget that you ever made the mistakes or that it was ever difficult. And I think that for all of us, we're all still in that early stage where we're all still noticing that we're making mistakes. In a couple of years, hopefully, we'll have just be able to come on here and just talk. You understand? Because even now, there's so much I want to say, but it's like what we were saying earlier. I'm still nervous about the reaction I'll get and things like that, you know? And it's not about pulling in people, yeah? But it's about having controversial opinions about things, yeah?
And people getting it and taking it the wrong way, rather than just hearing what you're saying without prejudice on it.
And yeah, and there are too many people, like I say, they've got the Bible in their mind, and that's their prejudice, and they don't even see that it is. You understand? And there are some people who've got science in their mind, and that's their prejudice, and they can't see that that's what it is. You understand? To me, it's just one side of a picture, right? Everyone's seen by now that you can line up some of the things in the Bible and completely reverse it with science. And to me, that just proves that they're opposite ends of the scale, and you've all got to come back a little bit this way rather than making me choose that way or that way. You understand?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Live on air, Richard is now blowing his nose. You might see some little green thingies flying around. I can see the sky. It's a nice sky. Still foggy here. I hope everyone's well in the chat. Jan, hello Jan. Good to see you. Walk in.
Oh, hi Jan. Yeah. See, again, sometimes I was saying just now, I've got loads to talk about, things I see and notice, but I've tried putting them in my videos. I'll try talking about them again on these hangouts, but for now, I'd like to meet some different people and a bit more comfortable with being out here and stuff. I'm fed up with listening to the same old voices, seeing the same old faces. I want to see some new ones. You understand?
Well, you've made the start, Richard, and you've already pulled in some nice people. To see Del come on was amazing. to have
that was really, really nice. Yeah. And well, do you know, like I said, like when I first started my channel, I made a lot of effort and I reached out to just about everyone, and then I waited for the responses, and it was from that I then made my next step. Do you understand? And then I've done the same thing since then, and I'll keep doing that. And it has to be that way. I can only respond to those people that respond to me. You understand? I'm not wasting my time chasing people that are not going to talk to me. And there's a lot of people out there that's all they're doing. They're chasing around after people, and I hate to say it, it seems to me that a lot of them are yes men. You understand? You know, they watch the video and they thumb it up straight away just because they like the person, and that's not what it's about for me. I like to watch what
the content is, what they're actually saying. That's the important bit, is what's coming out of their mouths, and like, again, that's where personality comes into it. People are attracted to the big person. I've got nothing against like the big channels. Like, I love Globe Busters. I love Jeren. I like his radio show. I like it when he's does his one with is it Missa? Is it Missa?
Yeah, his lady.
Yeah.
I have to say I much prefer Jeren when it is just him or just him and Missa than with any of the other crowd. I like listening to Jeren more than any of the other guys. For a long time, I listened to the Morgul quite intensively. I listened to a lot of his stuff twice, okay? But then I needed to hear someone else's opinion on it, and there was no one else giving another opinion on what he was saying. And at some point, I want to give mine. You know, it doesn't matter if no one listens in the end, but I will give my opinion on a lot of the stuff he's put out. Because again, not so much as with Del, but I have more so to disagree with the Morgul than I do with Del. Because like Del, like he says, he hasn't got much to disagree with, and that's what I like about it. You understand? I'm here to always be disagreed with. You can disagree with everything I say. All right? I like the controversy. I like to get people riled up and talk about weird stuff. Well, that's me.
Yes, I know. But I've always enjoyed your stuff, Richard. I've always watched your stuff. In fact, when we was at Oxford and me and you was walking along, and I said about me, I really struggle with words and all the rest of it. And what you actually said to me is one of the main reasons why I actually kept going with my channel, and your encouragement, it was a big thing to me. The fact that I was so aware of how I did stumble with words and trying to get it out, and you said to me, you just keep talking, you keep saying what you're saying, because you said,
in the same time, I was giving advice to myself because I knew that's what I had to do, but I hadn't yet taken the step, you know what I mean, to do it. And
I see you threw me under the out in front of the lion first to see how Rory gets on.
was it Del says about putting your toe in? I'm just waiting to see if Jaws is there or not.
He was there. Look, he's bitten.
I honestly believe it.
Don't dip your toe in, Richard. It's dangerous.
I'm going now. I'm gone. But I honestly feel that's how they want people to feel, right? A lack of confidence because they don't feel they have the words they need. And like, I don't think you need them. I think that was the bamboozling. I think it is all very simple. And like Barbie with a comment about energy, and Del with his dogginess about the flatness. These are very simple things, and someone has complicated it all. Yeah, I'd like to bring it back to simple. Okay, for myself, I love the complicated, but that's only for in here. You know, that's not for anyone else. That's for me. But for everyone else, I think everyone prefers simple. Do they not? We all want simple lives, to be left alone to live it as we choose, and they don't want you to do that. You know, do as you're told.
Yeah, I totally agree, mate. I'm going to have to shoot in a minute, Rich, because...
no worries. I can't be here for too much longer. Issa Mahal, it's very nice of you to pop in, fella. I listen to you quite a lot. I like it when you speak about law. I wanted to tell you a little while ago, I might have sent you a message as an English fella, badder-ification. And he's not for everyone, but he does know his law. Badder-ification. He's a very, very cool fella. But yeah, Rory, man, whenever you're ready, you can go. I'm not here for much longer, as I said. I wanted to share that thing about the polar thing this morning.
Yeah, because I didn't know about that. I will have a look at that. Look into that.
I've never heard of it myself. That was the first time. I said someone sent me the link for it, and it's just at the beginning of the broadcast, just to check it out. And there is a small video just about that on its own. But I will go into it a bit deeper myself and make a longer hangout about it. But yeah, just to put it out there.
Did you mention something about Dustin's video? Was that the one with the wall with the where you had like a man, well, I'm assuming it was a man or a woman in a woolen bed, and you got all the string like a puppet on it, and it was all coming undone.
In the last couple of days, yeah, he's done a 45-minute documentary.
Oh no, this was just like a music video. It was very arty.
No, I can't remember that one. Very,
very strong, very powerful.
Yeah, that's what Dustin puts out some very powerful messages in his little videos, and it amazes me that he ain't got any more traction. He's another one of those channels that just seems to have stumbled to a halt, and it doesn't make sense to me.
It's bizarre because, yeah, I've been watching Dustin for a very long time, and you know, I love his stuff. I really do. He's got a very witty way of making or editing and putting together videos. Yeah, he's a very talented man.
He's one of the guys that's inspired me to come out here and make my own channel. I'd love to make videos like that. I don't know how. I wouldn't know where to start, but I know how. You know, amazes me that people can do that, and they're not so polished as some of the bigger channels. You understand? You can tell that he's done it himself at home. There's a certain style to his videos that is. I like that. I wonder sometimes when people speak, their videos don't reflect how they speak. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
And there are a few of them out there that do that. Yeah.
Right, I am going to say goodbye, Richard. This has been a brilliant one again. You're such a natural.
Love you again.
But I will speak to you soon, and I'll probably catch up on. Is Jamie's got a hangout later? He's
got one tonight. Yeah, I doubt if I'll be able to get on. Once my oldest son comes home and he goes online on his PC, that's it. The bandwidth's just destroyed, and he's up till sort of 11 or 12, and it's difficult to get online after that with everyone being in bed. But as much as I can, I'm going to try and do this as often as I can. I might start. I usually get about half hour, 45 minutes in the morning. I might start like a morning coffee morning sort of thing. Just to be out here and talk about a few things, because you know, people don't like to think it, but I'm actually on here a lot and I watch a lot of the videos. I do not comment as much as I used to, and for a year or so I didn't make any videos or any comments because I didn't even have a channel. But I do see a lot, and I'd like to talk about it more, and sometimes with the people involved. Yeah, I'd like to get some of the crap that's going on. I don't want to just sit here and badmouth people. Yeah, with the same as with Dell's platform, I'll open it up and have people come in and say their piece, preferably in smaller crowds. You know, I don't want 5 or 6 people sitting in there. I'll save that for Saturday night drunkenness and stuff. But yeah, I might start the coffee morning. So it's something I've been thinking about for a while.
Well, this has been brilliant, Richard. I've really enjoyed it as ever. Love your company.
Me too, man.
So I will speak to you soon. So big hug, loves, and boom fizz.
Thanks, Rory.
I'll speak to you soon, brother.
Yeah, take it easy.
And everyone in chat, it's hard for me to keep up with.
Yeah, I'm not so good at watching the chat and listening at the minute, but I'll get there.
Yeah, I'm a man. I can't multitask, so. So, peace and love.
Where's the Gummidge wants to share a video, so make sure everyone checks that one out. Now, cool. Even if Rory's going, much love, mate. I'll speak to you soon. If everyone's going, I just want to share before as I finish what I was on here for originally. I hope I don't make any mistakes. So it's this, and I've closed the other one down by mistake. But there are some claims to records for Polar Circumnavigation. I'm going to come back to this at a very soon-ish point. But I know that there should be a lot of people interested in this and validating it or not. You understand? Someone sent me a link to a very similar page to this yesterday, and I just wanted to share it with everyone because I haven't got the time to get into it right now. Excuse this is chat. Yeah, I can't find the other page right now. I'll open it up later. But yeah, thank you all for joining me. It's a lovely afternoon. I'd like to stay longer in some ways, but people are home and I have stuff to do. I do wish you all well. Now, I don't know. I can, if you wish, leave the chat open for some people. If you want the chat open, say so now and I'll leave it for you. Otherwise, I'm going to go. But I thank you all very much for coming and listening. And I'll be back very soon. And I may well start that coffee morning. And so in England, that will be, say, between 9:45 and 10:30, Monday to Fridays. And Where's the Gummidge video? The Myth of Authority. If I remember it, it's the right one. It's a good one. Bye, Marie. Thank you for being here again. It's always nice to have you here. And yeah, I'd love to hear your opinions on some things, but I'm in no rush. I hope I'm not screen sharing, but if I am, then mind. Now, I'm going to, as I finish up, I'm going to share a page view with you. It's my poetry page on whatever. But there's some thoughts on there that I want to talk about at certain future dates. Just like a few mental notes I've made. And it's about, again, I'm not here to agree or disagree with people, but just to discuss. I admire what Dell's doing, and I'd like to help him in my own way to spread the word. But my channel primarily is to talk to people about stuff. Some of this being the more important things to me. Now I'm going to mute myself, and I'll just leave that up there. It's all in here. There's not much. I've got loads of pages like this. Do you see this here? Veritas Vincit. Truth conquers. It's the Orpington motto. How very bizarre. And it's just a little note I had to put down there and share with people. At some point, I want to change my channel. I may change it to that. Veritas Vincit. Recently, my mum has been looking into family history, and she come up with some very, very weird coincidence. And the question asked Rory earlier, you know, how many people actually give a shit about the Earth being round? If there's not that many people to give a shit about the Earth being round, there ain't going to be that many that give a shit that the Earth is flat. So we must find other ways to get them interested in things being the truth. Do you understand? I hope you do. Now, let's mute my microphone in a second. Much love to you all, and I'm going to put that screen back up for, say, 10 minutes. And you I've got a fly in my drink. Damn it. Thanks, everyone. See ya.